Hello everyone, it is me, Dr. Laserbeam, and this is League of Legends 101, where I go over certain parts of the game, League of Legends. Today we shall be going over the brand new Season 6 Masteries. I'll be going over what these new Masteries do, how they work, and which ones you should choose for each role for a specific champion. I made a timestamp in the description for you guys, so feel free to use it if there's a certain part of the Masteries you would like to know. As you can see, the Mastery system is similar to Season 5, with the fact that the Mastery points are given based off your level, and that to get to a higher tier, you must invest points into a tree. There are 3 different types of Masteries, which are Ferocity, Cunning, and Resolve. Ferocity in general is aggressive perks, while Cunning and Resolve tend to be focused on sustain, defense, and cooldowns. I shall be going over each of the perks in depth in a second. If you take a look at the pages, you'll notice there's a total of 6 rows in each tree. 3 out of the 6 rows have numbers next to them, so why is that? This is because you can invest a total of 5 points into one perk, or you can split it however you like. However, I do not recommend this, as it's usually a better idea to just fully invest into one perk. And the ones without numbers in them, you can only put 1 point into them. You can't choose both or split points between them. However, as I said before, it's usually a better idea just to fully invest into one perk. I shall be explaining what each perk does and when you should use them, but I should inform you people of something before I go on. This is a general guide, and while I may be referring to champions, every champion has certain perks or needs they need to fulfill. So use this guide as what a guide is meant to be, and not like a complete Bible. In other words, take what I say and use it to create your own preference mastery page. Now, let's go on. First, I shall be explaining the perks on the Ferocity page. On the first row, we have Fury and Sorcery. Fury increases your attack speed, while Sorcery increases your spell damage. This is a very basic comparison, as Fury is used for AD champions and Sorcery is used for AP champions. Like I said, if you're AD, choose Fury, and if you're AP, choose Sorcery. Next, we have the second row on Ferocity, which is Double-Edged Sword and Feast. Double-Edged Sword gives ranged champions 2% extra damage, but also makes them take 2% extra damage. If the champion is melee, then they deal 3% extra damage and take 1.5% extra damage. On the other hand, we have Feast. Feast gives 20 health to the user if they kill a unit with a 20-second cooldown. In almost every case, you should probably take Feast. This is because Feast is helpful for staying in lane and is a pro without a con, unlike Double-Edged Sword. You should take Double-Edged Sword, however, if you are a melee champion who is going top or jungle. In the majority of cases, however, taking Double-Edged Sword on a ranged champion is just simply not worth it. On the third row, we have Vampirism versus Natural Talent. Vampirism gives extra lifesteal and spell vamp, while Natural Talent gives bonus attack damage and ability power per level. This is another basic perk row. Basically, if you're a jungler or an ADC, then get Vampirism. If not, then get Natural Talent. This is because Vampirism helps you stay in lane or in the jungle, while Natural Talent is about scaling. So, if you depend on lifesteal, take Vampirism. And if not, then you should probably take Natural Talent. On the fourth row, we have Bounty Hunter versus Oppressor. Hunter gives you 1% increased damage for each champion you kill, while Oppressor gives you 2.5 increased damage to targets who are slowed, stunned, snared, taunted, or anything of that sort. In almost all cases, you should get Oppressor, with the exception of being a Snowball champion, or if your team has little to no CC. And if you got little to no CC, it's GG anyways. On the fifth row, we have Battering Blows versus Piercing Thoughts. Battering Blows gives you increased armor penetration, while Piercing Thoughts gives you increased magic penetration. Take Battering Blows if you're an AD champion, and Piercing Thoughts if you're an AP champion. As simple as that, folks. On the last row of Ferocity, we have the God perks. These perks are Warlord's Bloodlust, Fervor of Battle, and Deathfire Torch. Warlord's Bloodlust heals you for 15% of your damage for critical strikes and gives you attack speed on top of this. Fervor or Battle makes your basic attacks and spells grant you bonus physical damage versus champions for 5 seconds and can stack up to 10 times. The damage is based off your level. Last, we have a Deathfire Touch, which makes your damage abilities when hitting an enemy champion take an additional 6 damage along with 50% of your bonus damage and 20% of your AP over 3 seconds. If the ability in question is AoE, it is 1.5 seconds. Warlord's Bloodlust and Fervor Battle is best used just for AD champions. The difference is that Warlord's Bloodlust should be used for crit, while Fervor Battle should be used for attack speed focused champions. Deathfire Touch should just be used for AP champions or mixed damage champions. Now that we have gone over Ferocity tree, we shall now go over the Cunning tree. On the first row, we have Wanderer versus Savagery. Wanderer gives you bonus movement speed while combat, while Savagery gives you bonus damage to minions and monsters. The only time you should get Wanderer is for supports. In all other cases, you should probably gain Savagery. In the third row, we have Merciless versus Meditation. Merciless gives the user 1% increased damage to low health champions, while Meditation, on the other hand, gives 0.3% of the user's missing mana back every 5 seconds. The decision between these two comes between preference. If you're more passive, take Meditation, and if you're more aggressive, then take Merciless. The exception to this is that you should take a Merciless every time if you are an energy or health champion or you just in general have low mana costs. On the fourth row, we have Bandit versus Dangerous Game. Bandit gives 1 gold for each nearby enemy minion killed by an ally, and when you hit an enemy champion with an attack or spell, grants you 3 gold if you're ranged and 10 gold if you're melee. Dangerous Game grants 5% of your missing health and mana upon assist and kills on enemy champions. In every case but support, you should take Dangerous Game. There's simply no need to take Bandit unless you are support, since supports need that extra gold income. On the fifth row, we have Precision versus Intelligence. Precision gives additional armor and magic penetration per level, while Intelligence increases your cooldown reduction cap and gives you cooldown reduction. This one is basic. If you're not cooldown dependent, then you should take Precision. On the other hand, if you are cooldown dependent, then take Intelligence. It's as simple as that. On the God tier row, we have Stormraider's Surge, Thunderlord's Decree, and Windspeaker's Blessing. Stormraider's Surge grants you 35% movement speed upon dealing 30% of an enemy champion's max health within 2 seconds. Thunderlord's Decree makes your third attack/spell on the enemy champion shock the area around them and deals 10 damage per level, as well as 20% of your bonus attack damage and 10% of your ability power. Windspeaker's Blessing makes your heals and shields 10% stronger and increases their resistances by 15% for about 3 seconds. Stormraider's Surge is best used for assassins, Thunderlord's Decree is best used for fighters, and Windspeaker's Blessing is best used for healing supports. Now onto the last tree, which is Resolve. On the first row of Resolve, we have Recovery versus Unyielding. Recovery gives the user bonus health regen, while Unyielding gives the user bonus armor and magic resist. In cases with tanks, Unyielding should be taken, while in cases referring to squishy champions, then Recovery should be taken. On the second row, we have Explorer versus Tough Skin. Explorer grants 12 plus movement speed in Brush and River, while Tough Skin makes you take 2 less damage from champion and monster basic attacks. This is very simple, as wandering or high mobility champions should take Explorer. On the other hand, more slow champions should take Tough Skin. On the third row, we have Runic Armor versus Varen's Scars. Runic Armor increases all shields and healing effects onto you, while Varen's Scars grants you additional health. I truly find this to be too as of a decision, as Runic armor will be most valuable on ADCs, but ADCs should not really take into the resolve path in the first place, so I would say in every case Varen's scars would be of much greater value. On the fourth row, we have Insight versus Perseverance. Insight makes summer spells have 15% reduced cooldown, while Perseverance grants 50% health regen and increases to 200% health regen when below 20% health. These are both amazing perks, but Insight overall has more value since it applies to literally all champions. Perseverance would only trump Insight with health regen focused champions such as Garen. Other than that, Insight makes Perseverance feel the burn. On the fifth row, we have Swiftness versus Legendary Guardian. Swiftness gives the user increased tenacity and slow resist, while Legendary Guardian gives additional armor and magic resist for each nearby enemy champion. In most cases, I would say Legendary Guardian because it's better because it has better general use and raw stats. However, Swiftness may prove to be more value versus heavy CC teams. Last, we have the God perks of Resolve, which are Grasp of the Undying, Strength of the Ages, and my personal favorite, Bond of Stone. Grasp of the Undying makes every 4 seconds in combat your next basic attack steal life from the enemy champion equal to 3% of your max health, but is reduced to 1.5% if you are ranged. Strength of the Ages makes large monsters and siege minions that are nearby that allies kill grant you 20 and 10 permanent health respectively, up to 300 health max. After reaching the max, any more kills on siege minions restore 100 health to you. Bond of Stone gives you 4% damage reduction right off the bat, and when you are near an ally is increased to 8%. In addition to 8% of the damage they are taken is dealt to you instead until you are below 15% of your max health. In my opinion, these are the best perks in the game. Grasp of the Undying is great for fighters who take it up and close to personal carries. Strength of Ages is great for tanks who become more beefy over time, and Bond of Stone is absolutely godlike for supports, and in particular in tanky supports. Now that you understand how each perk tree works, I shall now go over each role and group of champions and which perks they should obtain. First, I shall start with what I'm good at, and that's tanky supports. This setup mainly focuses on Resolve and Cunning. With this setup, you should be able to have good defense, good gold income, and summoner spell cooldowns you need to help you keep your team and yourself alive. The most important perks to get is Bond of Stone, Bandit, Secret Stash, and Insight. Now we have Mage Supports. As you can see, the first half for the most part is similar, but a majority of the points shifts from Resolve to Cunning. This is because you really need a Windspeaker blessing, which will help you protect your team better. It is also crucial they get Secret Stash, Bandit, and Intelligence. For ADCs, the focus is mainly on getting as much damage perks as possible. The focus is on Ferocity and Cunning. I choose Warlord's Bloodlust since I prefer damage over speed, but Fervor or Battle is usable too. As I said before, it depends on the champion. The main perks here are Warlord's Bloodlust, Fervor Battle, Fury, and Merciless. This page is for ADCs who also use AP, such as Ezreal and Corki. Same setup and idea for the most part, but I got Deathfire Torch instead and also took Natural Talent. Now we got the tank junglers. I focused on Resolve and Cunning here and got as much defensive perks as possible. In my opinion, it is crucial that you get Strength of Ages. Other than that, other things to focus on would be Dangerous Game, Runic Affinity, Savagery, Insight, and Tough Skin. For Snowball Junglers, you can see that is similar to an ADC's page, as I focused on Ferocity and Cunning, but took a jungler's specific perks. As a matter of fact, I think the only damn thing I changed was Runic Affinity over Secret Stash. So the perks to focus here on are Runic Affinity, Warlord's Bloodlust, Bounty Hunter, Merciless, and Dangerous Game. This page is for AD Assassins for mid or top. Lane assassins are a bit different from jungle ones, so I focused more on cunning for this one. Also took perks that would help assassins bear in teamfights, is more focused on group fighting rather than one-on-ones. Not to say assassins shouldn't be doing that, but you have to teamfight sometimes. The perks I focused here are Stormraider's Surge, Secret Stash, Merciless, and Vampirism. This page is for aggressive mages mid and top. I focused on Ferocity and Cunning, as Ferocity will give you the damage you need, while Cunning will give you the bonuses to your kills, as well as help you kill your lane opponent in the first place. The perks I focused on getting here are Deathfire Touch, Piercing Thoughts, Merciless, and Sorcery. This page is for my more passive scaling mages. This is the exact same setup as the aggressive mage page, except for the fact that I changed out Merciless for Meditation. Here is Fighter Top page. Here I focused on Cunning and Ferocity, which will help me out with wave clear and overall raw damage. This page is focused on taking down weak enemies while maintaining some defense. The perks to focus on here are Thunderlord's Decree, Secret Stash, Oppressor, and Double-Edged Sword. Last we have Tank Top. This setup is similar to my Tank Jungler page, but I focus more on Resolve on this one, and also don't take Jungler specific perks. This is meant to give me the best defense and sustain I can possibly have during the laning phase. The perks I focus on here are Strength of Ages, Insight, Secret Stash, and Veteran Scars. This has been League of Legends 101. Let me know if you found this video to be helpful, and to every single League player out there, new or old, I hope you guys achieve your goals this season. If that's reaching a new rank, getting into the LCS, being less toxic, or just playing with the friends you love, I hope you reach your goals. Good luck to everybody this season, and I hope to play with you guys on the Rift sometime.